I turned $2,000 into $200,000 as a 19-year-old college student. And no, I didn't win the lottery. I made it off of a single meme coin trade. And in this video, I'm breaking down the 5 exact steps on how I did it and how you can do it too. Not only that, but I'll be breaking down the entire strategy on the charts live. Crypto is absolutely blowing up right now, but these bull runs never last forever. So if you want to capitalize ASAP, these 5 strategies are a must know. Before I even get into this trade and how you can do it too, I want to show you that I'm not lying, because last year, if a teenager told me through the screen that he made 6 figures like this, I would tell him to get the hell out of here too. So here are my P&Ls, here are my buy and sell charts, and here are the wallets that I use for the trade. Feel free to look them up. And just to put this into perspective, Bitcoin recently hit a new all-time high. Huge institutional firms like BlackRock and MicroStrategy are picking up billions of dollars in Bitcoin. Coins like Fartcoin are getting billion-dollar valuations. Yes, that is real, by the way. And the president of the United States, Donald Trump himself, made his very own meme coin. Even traditional stock traders are moving into crypto AI and meme coins. And with altcoin season on the horizon, there's no signs of this space slowing down anytime soon. But it all starts with step number 1, identifying the right coin to buy. I used to be the same, and I nearly round tripped the first 6 figures I made in crypto in the summer because of these same exact mistakes. I ended up recklessly buying coins without doing due diligence, and I lost over $80,000 in the process. But because I went through that loss, I was able to develop a strategy for identifying the right coins to buy. So let me share my screen and show you with Video Coin as my example. So what I first used to spot videos, this site here we have called Deck Screener, and you're going to be using this a lot when you're looking for meme coins. So Deck Screener is a popular scanning platform that shows us every single coin on every single chain, and it gives us a lot of important data that we need. So we have market cap, liquidity, the age, and it even gives us a chart of coins that are trending right now, that are newly created, or top performers. So video happened on Base chain, and if you don't know what Base is, which is this little blue circle right here, it's an Ethereum layer 2 blockchain that works the exact same way as Ethereum, but it's a lot cheaper and it's a lot faster. So that makes it a very popular chain to trade on. If you like this breakdown, this is just a small piece of what I'm dropping with my circle, where me and other top traders are actively looking for plays, breaking down narratives, and reviewing each other's trades. We have students like Jeremy Moon, who with no previous experience whatsoever are now making their own calls with their own conviction, their own theses, and calling out 10, 20, even 50 X's. And of course, experienced people like James and Shams who have made hundreds of thousands to millions this cycle. From big plays like Trump to coins some of you may have never even heard of before like Mobile XYZ. So if you want to work with me personally and trade with a tight group made up of other hungry people, click the top link in the description. And at the time video happened, Base was really heating up with a lot of high performing coins spawning there. So I decided to open up a monitor and scan the newly created tab here on Base. And one thing you always have to have in the back of your mind when you're looking for coins like this is what is the leading narrative of the market right now, and that's what we call the meta, and it's the popular theme of the coins that are happening right now. And one way you can check this is by going on the trending chart and looking at a bunch of the coins that are doing well right now and finding a common sentiment about them. So right now we have a bunch of Elon and Trump coins doing really well right now because Trump just launched his own meme coin. So what we are in right now is called a Trump meta, and at the time video was happening, AI and technological coins were doing extremely well. So we were in what's called an AI meta. And because I knew that we were in an AI meta, I knew that those were the coins that I should be looking for because that is the narrative that has the most attention right now. And remember, crypto is an attention market. You want to buy something that has the potential to have a lot of eyes around it. So when I saw on my monitor a coin that literally had the ticker video, here we go, Video Coin by Dracula, that immediately caught my interest. So I used a reputable scanning platform and I leveraged what I knew about the dominating narrative at the time to find a coin that interested me. So in Video's case, we now have a coin that's caught our eye, but that doesn't mean we're ready to buy just yet. What we're gonna do now is look deeper into it. So the first thing you should be doing whenever you find a coin that interests you is look at the socials. So let me click on Twitter, and here we have Dracula. And instantly, this is something that immediately catches my interest once again. So we have an account that has 64,000 followers, a golden check, and a bunch of content that's being posted on their page. So at first glance, this is a Twitter page that's had a lot of work done behind it. And if I look deeper into it, so let's say I click on the followers, what I immediately noticed was that this account was followed by Paradigm right here, a research-driven crypto investment firm. So let's look through the Paradigm following list and Magic Eden and Blur. If you don't know what these are multi-billion-dollar projects. And this page, Paradigm, this crypto investment firm, has been involved with them. And if we go back, they happen to follow Dracula. So not only does Dracula have connections with Paradigm, a massive player in the crypto space with an extremely selective following of 127. But if we scroll down, we can see that Dracula has an official app and video is advertised right in front of it. So if we scroll down to where video first came up around November 13th, here we can see video is the first video coin by Dracula. By simply researching into the coin's Twitter, we now know that video has an official app with tens of thousands of followers and it's possibly connected to billion-dollar backings. And we were able to find this out because one, we knew where to look. And as I demonstrated, that's their Twitter page, their followers, and their following. And this is to all get an idea of what the coin is about. And because Twitter is the most popular social platform in crypto. And two, we knew what to look for. And like I demonstrated, that's going to be info on the developers, the backings, any possible connections, an app or a website that the coin is based around, and any lead that's going to generate eyes. And that's because crypto is an attention market. You need to find out why or why not a coin is getting eyes right now and what's going to put eyes on it in the future. Now in video's case, it's a coin that plays the attention game perfectly. It played the leading AI narrative, it's connected to billion-dollar projects, and it was the first coin of an official app. That sounds like it'd get some crazy attention down the line. Now, this takes us into step 2, and the biggest area you need to focus on after finding the right coin is understanding price action. Timing is literally everything in crypto. You jump in too soon and you risk buying the top. You wait too long and you could miss the run. In simpler terms, price action is the raw, unfiltered data of how buyers and sellers are interacting with a coin at any given moment. And you can see whether a coin is experiencing steady growth, volatile swings, or having signs of an impending crash. And you can use price action to make informed decisions like figuring out if a coin's growth is organic. It's just the pure movement of the price on a chart. Let me show you what I mean, and I'll break down my price action analysis on video coins so you can see the patterns. So when I go to where I first saw the coin, we can see that there's a lot of high initial volume, meaning there's a lot of buy and sell action going on right here. But, and it doesn't show here because this is a current chart, video originally had very low liquidity. And if you don't know what liquidity is, it's the amount of money that's in a coin. And when a significant amount of money is being traded on a low liquidity pool, it's going to bring your entry up and give you less coins when you buy, and bring your entry down and give you less coins when you sell. Basically, a coin with low liquidity is usually something you want to avoid without reason. Video had low liquidity, so this was not something you could buy or sell very easily, and that explains these massive wicks that we have here. And like I said, video had low liquidity, so this was not something you could buy or sell very easily, and that explains these massive wicks that we have here. And like I said, when you buy something with low liquidity, it's gonna put your entry up higher, and when you sell something with low liquidity, it's gonna put your entry lower, and you're gonna get less coins in either way. But on base chain, the developer is able to freely add or remove liquidity from the coin's pool. Keep this in mind. And after about an hour, the coin reached a market cap of about 150,000 and decided to slow down. To run the stats, video was a coin with low liquidity, somewhat decent initial volume, and a low market cap. For a coin with all the potential backings and leads I was talking about earlier, this was honestly really disappointing. But wait, remember, the developer is able to freely add or remove liquidity from the coin's pool on base chain. What if, instead of video being a failed project, I was just early? Think about it. All these big names were potentially behind the project, and how would they make money on it if there's no money in the liquidity pool to trade with? A company with billion-dollar projects wasn't gonna raise just a few thousand can quit. It could only mean that the project was still in development and I was early to this gold mine. How did I come to this conclusion? By simply leveraging what I knew about the coin and the current market trend in step 1 and implementing that knowledge onto the coin's price action on the charts in step 2 by looking at volume, liquidity, and market cap. So before we actually buy into the coin, our next step is going over the risk to reward ratio of the trade. Of course, no trade is risk-free, but calculated risks can yield huge gains like my video trade right here. The problem is, you might be letting your emotions guide your trades, leading to tons of losses instead of using a logical strategy like I'm about to break down for this $200,000 trade. You don't need me to tell you how volatile the crypto market is. You should always be prepared for your investment to turn into zero. After you understand the first 3 steps, now comes the fun part of actually executing the trade. So I want to share with you when and why I bought into the trade, and then in step 5, I'll share with you how I knew when to get it out and sell. For video, I was only risking around an ETH, which is about a few $1,000s. You know this 4.0 from something else. If I lost those few $1,000s, I'd be okay, because I'd still have a lot of money I can still comfortably invest with. To add to this, you always want to stay liquid, and that means having the money to spend comfortably on another play in case the one you're in does not work out. A trade not working in your favor should not significantly impact you financially. In video's case, the absolute worst scenario was that the developer would abandon the project and I'd lose a few thousand. But the potential reward with all the info I found on step 1 and my theory that I was early on step 2 was a brand new Lambo. After you understand the first 3 steps, now comes the fun part of actually executing the trade. Because if I was greedy and put too much money in, I wouldn't have been comfortable holding on for too long. And if I panicked and sold early, I wouldn't have made $200,000. You know what I mean? So I want to show you when and why I got into this trade, and then in step 5, I'll be sharing how I knew when to get it out and sell. So when I open up my Photon, a trading platform for buying coins, you can see that I bought about $1,000 immediately after finding out the potential of video. This was to get some exposure, and in case some big news came up immediately, I'd still have a share in the coin. And on my other wallet, it doesn't exactly show my buy signal because I used Uniswap, a coin exchange, but you can still see my transactions here. I bought about $500, $600 video. This time though, I bought at a much lower price at around $30,000 market cap. And by buying multiple times, I'm averaging out my entry. This is a technique I strongly encourage you to use. Never buy your full position immediately. With how volatile these coins are, timing your entries are gonna be impossible. Fast forward a couple days and the team paid for a deck screener update. If you don't know what that is, I mentioned at the start of the video how deck screener is a popular platform for scanning coins. And a deck screener update is a paid data update for a coin on their page. This could be adding new social medias like we have here, adding a website, or changing the banner. It's usually a sign that there's a team behind the project that's actively putting out there that they're working on the coin. This gets attention. And remember the kind of market that I said crypto was. This pumped the coin multiples, as we can see here, and I was up several thousand by this point. But the team still didn't add liquidity, and off my thesis from step number 2, I knew that that would be the final confirmation that video was the real deal. Even though I was up several multiples from my initial investment, I knew that whatever I held had so much more potential, and because of my first 3 steps, I was positioned perfectly. I stuck to my conviction. I wasn't gonna sell for 10,000 when I knew this was something bigger. Then it happened. The team finally added liquidity, and look at this chart. From almost zero to now a multi-million-dollar market cap coin. Crypto influencers were hyping it up, whales were buying tens, hundreds of thousands, and video was now on the front page of crypto Twitter. And the best part of all this, because I followed my steps, I was in before everybody. And if you like this breakdown, this is just a small piece of what I'm sharing with everyone in my group Fortune. Trading with other people is the best way to become a better trader. You have multiple brains scanning the market and you're analyzing each other's plays and learning. I mean, we have people like James and Shams who also made 6 figures from video because we discussed it, and more recently, we caught Trump's meme coin on voice chat and the group is up millions. I know there's countless crypto groups out there, but I've had people tell us that Fortune stands out because we're more personable and we have the best traders in the world in crypto like myself making calls. If you want to join a group of hungry, like-minded, and smart traders, click the first link down below to apply for a reservation. Now, have you ever been in a trade and you're making money but you just don't know when to sell? This is important because confusion or greed can lead you to losing it all, just like I did when I almost round-tripped my first 6 figures. When you're in profit, that sense of euphoria is so dangerous to your judgment and it can get in the way of you leaving with your money. So, most traders fail because they don't have an exit strategy. But luckily enough, since you clicked on this video, I'll share my exit strategy and demonstrate how I knew when and why I should sell video so you can apply it to your trades as well. The first thing you should do is always compare the coin's narrative to market sentiment. Here you can see I didn't sell a single cent of video until it hit multi-million dollars of market cap because of the potential of billion-dollar backings, the popularity of base, and the fact that other technology coins with weaker catalysts were also hitting multi-millions. You need to be aware of what's doing well at the moment, and you can do this through Deck Screener or other trading platforms. Next, you should always take out initials early. You can only make progress when you take out initials. It seems obvious, but it should be the biggest priority of any trade you are in. For video, you can see that I took out initials on the first sign of breakout volume. This way, I cannot lose on this trade no matter what happens. Like in step 4, it's just as hard to time the top as it is the bottom. You want to lock profits while still giving yourself room to move up. And one thing to note is that for AI and technology coins, the developer holds all the leverage. What I mean by this is that every single action of the text developer is going to be reflected on the charts. So if the developer sells or reveals any sort of bad sentiment, the coin goes to zero. Nobody can revive a coin centered around technology if the one who made the tech isn't working on it anymore. With this, and because I was now up 6 figures, a number I wasn't too comfortable with round tripping anymore, I took profits aggressively. I wasn't 100% sure what could go wrong, but I sure as hell was not going to stay around and find out. And in the end, the developer released a single bearish tweet of how video wasn't actually the official coin of Dracula and single-handedly killed a $20 million coin. People say crypto is all luck and give up after a few failures. But at the end of the day, this trade is proof that just showing up to the job, doing a little on-chain research, and thinking outside the box will take you further than you can imagine in this space. Now you know exactly how to go make winning trades and eventually make $200,000 like I did. Trading in crypto is constantly changing though, and this is only one piece of the puzzle. So if you want to get serious trading crypto AI and meme coins, watch my guides to take your trading to the next level.